All right, buckle up, everybody. Today we're going deep into something we all use but don't think much about.
Yeah, going behind the scenes.
Exactly. We're talking suppliers and supply chains.
Stuff that impacts every single thing we buy and use, honestly.
You ready to get your mind blown?
Let's do it.
Okay, so we got to start simple, right? Like, what is a supplier? I mean, in plain English.
Well, think of it this way.
Okay.
Anytime a business needs something to make their stuff, whether it's the raw materials, the parts, or even some kind of service, they got to get it from somewhere.
Right. Makes sense.
That's the supplier, the provider.
So, like, if I'm a baker, my supplier is the guy who sells me flour.
Exactly. Flour, sugar, eggs, the whole shebang.
Okay, I'm getting it. Now let's scale it up. How about a car company like Toyota?
Ah, perfect example. Think of all the pieces that go into a car.
Oh, man. So many.
Engines, tires, electronics, the seats, the dashboard, everything.
And they don't make all those things themselves, do they?
Nope. They have suppliers for each of those parts, often from different companies, even different countries.
Wow, I never thought about it like that.
It's a global network, really.
So that's where the idea of the supply chain comes in.
Bingo. It's the entire web of suppliers involved in getting a product from raw materials to the finished thing you buy.
So it's not just the flour for my cake, it's also the farmer who grew the wheat, the mill that processed it, and the truck driver who delivered it.
You got it. It goes way back.
That's wild.
And think about something like, I don't know, a chocolate bar.
Okay, I'm hungry now, but go on.
Where do you think the cocoa beans come from?
Probably some tropical place.
Likely, maybe Africa. Then you've got the sugar, could be from somewhere else entirely. The milk might be from another continent.
Wait, so one little chocolate bar could have ingredients from all over the world?
Absolutely. And that's just the food part. You also need packaging, transportation, all with their own suppliers.
Man, I'm starting to see things in a whole new light. Like, imagine tracing the origins of every single thing we use daily.
Right. Your clothes, your phone, even the chair you're sitting on.
It's kind of mind-blowing. And a little overwhelming, to be honest.
But it's also getting more and more important for people to understand this.
Why is that?
Well, think about things like ethical sourcing. Knowing that the people making your products are treated fairly.
Oh, yeah, that's a big deal these days.
Exactly. Or sustainability. You might want to know that the materials in your stuff are sourced in an environmentally friendly way.
So understanding supply chains helps us make better choices.
Exactly. It empowers us as consumers.
Okay, so we've got suppliers, the building blocks, and then we've got these massive global supply chains.
Right. It's the network that makes the modern world work, really.
But it's also way more complicated than I ever imagined.
Oh, yeah. And there are levels to it, too. You've got different tiers of suppliers.
Say tiers, like in a video game.
Kind of. So you've got your tier 1 suppliers, the ones directly supplying the final company that puts the product together, like those engine makers we talked about for Toyota.
Makes sense.
Then you've got your tier 2 suppliers who supply the tier 1 and so on. It can go way down.
So it's like a pyramid with the final product at the top.
You could visualize it that way. And the further down the chain you go, the more difficult it can be to keep track of everything to ensure quality and ethical practices.
Right, because you're dealing with more and more companies further and further away.
Exactly. And that brings up another layer. Risk.
Risk? What kind of risk?
Well, imagine something happens to one of those suppliers in the chain, a natural disaster maybe, or political instability in that region.
Oh man, that could mess things up.
It definitely can. We saw that a lot recently, right?
Yeah, with
pandemics, wars, even just stuff like a big ship getting stuck in a canal.
Right, that was crazy.
It caused all sorts of delays and shortages all over the world. So companies are realizing they need to be more resilient, more adaptable.
So it's not just about finding the cheapest supplier anymore.
Nope. It's about balancing cost with things like reliability, ethical practices, and anticipating problems.
Like having a backup plan in case something goes wrong.
Exactly. And that's driving a lot of innovation in supply chain management.
Really? Like what?
Well, we're seeing companies using all kinds of cool tech like blockchain to track where materials come from and ensure transparency.
Blockchain, that's the stuff behind Bitcoin, right?
Yep, same technology, different application. And AI, artificial intelligence, is being used to predict potential problems like weather events or political unrest.
Whoa, so they're trying to get ahead of the curve.
Exactly. It's all about minimizing risk and keeping those supply chains flowing smoothly.
Man, this is seriously fascinating. It's like a whole hidden world operating behind the scenes to bring us all the stuff we use.
It is. And it makes you think differently about the products you buy, doesn't it?
For sure. Like there's so much more to it than just the price tag.
Exactly. There's a whole story, a whole journey behind every product.
This whole deep dive has been really eye-opening, I gotta say.
Well, hopefully it gives you a new perspective too. And next time you're out shopping, take a moment to think about the journey that product took to get there. Where did it come from? What people and processes were involved?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look at things differently now.
Good, because that's what it's all about, understanding the bigger picture.
Absolutely. And with that, we've reached the end of our deep dive. Thanks for listening, everybody.
See ya!